Here. All right, so thank you very much for signing on and joining us for this quick walkthrough of our new member portal. First of all, I wanted to show you our website. You'll notice this is not actually our member portal, but I wanted to show you our website as that's the easiest way to get to the portal. A couple things. First, you can see this members tab here. If you click that, just in case there's anybody who is not a member currently, we do have links right through from our join page or become a member page. If you click that, it takes you right to an application form. I don't know if it's going to show up for me. Yeah, I need to log in first. So, but you can create an account and go straight into the application form that way. So that's one way to get in if you are not a member. Just close this now. If you are a member, the best way to do it is just to go to our website and click our member login button. I've got this fancy new keyboard thing going, so you can see that that's the button right there, the green button under the search function. You click that, and it'll direct you right there. You can also just enter in members@museumsassn.bc.ca if you'd like. Either one gets you to this same page. Now, I've created a little test account, so we're going to see I'm not going to use my regular email. I'm going to use the webmaster one and see if this works. I had a little bit of trouble with the password. So I enter in my email and the password. You will have had your email and password emailed to you. It was part of the original welcome email that we launched on Thursday. You might have gotten it early Friday morning, possibly. If you need help, we can always either click forget password, or if you email me, I can reset it for you. So I log in here. And what I'm going to end up with is my dashboard. And this is what you'll see when you log in as well. There's something pretty similar to this. There's a couple of cool features that we'll go through here before we get on to everything else. So first of all, top left, you're going to see a welcome message right here. This is basically the area where we're going to put the most important information for you about the portal, or any information you need to know about the BCMA. It'll be in this white box here. You can see right now we're sharing a little bit of information about our walkthrough webinars that you've joined us on right here. So this is our Tuesday one. We have one next week and the week after as well. You'll also get a personalized welcome message. I created this under Indiana Jones because who else is a great example of action hero museum worker, even though he's probably remarkably unethical in his collecting policies. But anyways, let's roll with it today. So you're going to get this welcome message. Some important links may be put in here, like your access to your profile if you wanted to go straight in through that way, or the link to this webinar. This will change every few months, so anything new important that comes up here, you'll find it here. Now, top right, you're going to notice these buttons to go left or right on your scrolling message bar. If I scroll through these, you can see there's a bunch of different reminders. Again, we threw up one for these webinars. I've got a webinar tomorrow about the community gaming grants, so that's a great way to come in and get your tickets there. We have a little do you know section, so update your profile, event registrations, etc. I've also got a notification here for my renewal, noticing that my renewal expires, or my membership, sorry, expires on March 31st. So I can see that and I could renew today by clicking that button. We'll go through that in a second. I've also put in this reminder here. If you're joining us from either an institution or an affiliate institution, you might see, or an affiliate member, you might see this Directories Reminder. We will be launching a directory service, and so this is just a reminder to update everything, and we'll go through that as well. And then there's my other directory reminder because I've set myself up for both of those affiliate accounts and institutional accounts, so either one. Now you'll also see a couple other things as we scroll down here. You're going to see our next upcoming event. This is our next webinar, our MOU in Action one. This is a great way just to see the next one coming up, and we'll be able to click that and get your tickets. You can also see them on the upcoming events page here, a little box here. You'll see there is actually one next week, but there's no registration needed for it. Or sorry, next week, tomorrow, but there's no registration needed for it, so you can just click right through there. Or you can see the one in April. I could click View All, and I'd be able to see all of the events that we have, and we'll go through that again in a bit. And then if you are an institutional member, you're going to see this box on the bottom right. It's an employee account option. So currently we allow 2 people from an institution to be a contact person. And you can just get somebody from your organization set up and ready to go. You'd have the second person by adding in their email there. So for example, if I was adding Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, I just add them in, and they'll get an email directly to them with a new login information. They'll create their own profile, but they'll always be associated with your institutional membership. So that's how you would add that second contact or that employee account. As I said, we normally had 2 contacts for the BCMA institutional members, so that's your way to get your second contact in there. And like I said, they'll still be associated with your account. Just cancel that for now. So those are sort of the main points on the landing page right now. If you are a member who is already a part of a BCMA committee, or if you are a part of maybe the EMP group or the mentors group, you might see another thing right about here. That would be your Workspace. We'll get into that maybe a little bit later as well if there's any questions, although I don't think anybody on the call right now is a part of those groups. But you'll see a link into your Workspace right underneath the MOU in Action badge. Okay, so the most important thing probably for you today is to look at the My Account menu. This is the top right of the menu area, the last option on the right. So if we go through this, we'll show you the ways to update your profile and get everything connected on there. So if I click My Account, I'll see a few different options here. My Profile is the one that we'll click first. And that takes us into our contact information and personal information. This is where you basically put in your name, your email address. If you have a second email, you can put it in there. Feel free to put in your professor of archaeology or your job title, whatever your job title is. And you'll notice that if you already have an institutional account, this will be added in already. If you're an individual, you might be able to add that in yourself. This just helps us know where you work or where you're associated with. And as I said, if you're a member of an institutional account, that will already be filled in. Feel free to upload a photo. These photos will be used a little bit later on for things like discussion forums. So it's just a good way to sort of put a little personal touch onto your account. And if you're heading to something like our regional workshops or our conference, it's a great way for us to know what you look like before you show up. And that way we'll try to learn your name as best we can. We have a bunch of different tabs up here at the top. Contact info, pretty straightforward. This is where you can put in your information, your mailing address, your telephones. If you have a personal website, you can put that here. Obviously, Indiana Jones, his famous catchphrase, "It belongs in a museum." So that's my website. If you're an institutional member as well, or an affiliate institutional, you can put in your assistant's information. This is a person that basically just gets all the emails you would get. So anything to do with your renewals, your finances, anything like that, you can put their first, last name, and emails and telephones in this box here. It's a great way if you have maybe a finance person that's managing all the payments or somebody who owns the corporate card. You can put them all in there. Scroll back up to the top here. We do have an organization info area. This is for institutions as well. This is where you can add in your information about the organization you work for. So your address, maybe your website, telephone, etc. And that's a good way to get some of that information onto your account. Your social media, same sort of thing. If you have a Twitter account or a Facebook account, feel free to throw it in there for your organization. And your logo. This is an important area for directories, which we'll see in a little bit. This is where you'd upload your logo into your account. So you just click Upload Photo, choose File, and then you can upload your logo, whatever it may look like. If you need to change your password, you can do that up here. You do need to know your current password, and then your new one you put in twice. So if you don't know your current one, when you're logging in, you can click Forget Password, or you can email me to change that at members@museumsassn.bc.ca. If you have payment information, I think this is actually not turned on our end right now, but when you do your renewals, you might end up seeing some payment information here if you have a recurring payment. Now I've got a couple different tabs up here that you might see a little different on yours. I've set myself up as an affiliate individual and an institutional membership just for the purposes of showing you what this is like. So your affiliate individual profile, fill in information. If you're a service provider, basically if you do contracts for museums, you can put in your information here. And so I've put in a little description of the type of service provided by Indiana Jones. He accessions artifacts in a very unethical way, and he also fights Nazis. So if I put that in, that'll end up in the directory later on when that goes live. So you can put that in here. As I said, that's under the affiliate individual profile tab. I've also got an institutional profile tab. Same sort of thing. I can put this information in here. I just click this little box on the right, the edit box, or add box if you need to add more. Same sort of thing. If I'm an institution, I can put in whatever type of institution I am, what best describes me. I can put in my website location if it's different than the one I've already provided. My general telephone or toll-free telephone number, public email, all this sort of information you can put here. And we also have OWL cards. So for institutional organizations, you have your OWL card 1 and your OWL card 2. So, of course, Indiana Jones's real name is Henry Walton Jones, if you didn't know that. As Sean Connery calls him, it's Junior. OWL card number 2 would be the second contact. If you're filling this in, you can put the same person that you added to the profile, or if there's maybe another volunteer or something like that that you wanted to include, maybe a longtime board member, you could put them here as well. And both of these will get mailed out to you after you apply or after you renew. And so that'll be where you can fill that information in, so we can have that. Just click Save. Then I've also got some profile information here. This is similar to what we filled in the individual provider, affiliate individual profile. So the affiliate individual will show up in the service providers directory. And so I can put in some information here as well. Working in Hollywood, agent to the stars. So that's the new description of what I do for the BC Museum sector. Just click Save. And that'll be saved. You'll notice this little box pops up in the top right here, and that's where it tells me that it's been saved successfully. Similarly, our museums and galleries profile, if you're an organization, you can put in your hours, your admission information, and any additional visitor information. So maybe if you want to list your accessibility, or if you have a special event happening, you can put that here. All this information will appear in the directories, which we'll get to in a second. The rest of the tabs up on the top, up here, the primary level tabs are about your membership. So I will see my institutional and my affiliate individual membership here. I'll get to this renewal button in a second. So this basically just tells me what my member number is, active, my renewal dates, my inception dates of when I started, and when I have been a member since. Most of this stuff you don't need to know. It's primarily this renewal that you'll be focused on. My invoices and receipts, if I've already paid for something through my membership, whether it's an application online or whether it's a renewal online, I'll see the invoices here if they're outstanding, or receipts here. And then if I've made a donation, I can see that as well. Now you'll notice I don't have any right now. It's because I created this account. If you are a new applicant, you'll at least see your receipt here, or if you've renewed online already, you'll see your receipt here. If you're one of our older members and you haven't renewed on the portal yet, you're not going to see anything here either because you're not due for it yet. If you're due for a renewal, you might see one here, but you still have to go through the renewal process to officially get the invoice. So that's basically where, starting now, any payments you do online, you're going to see your receipts and your invoices here. Same sort of thing for events, anything like that. Now again, I said employee accounts. Employee accounts are primarily for institutional members, so you can add it in by putting in the email again. Same sort of thing that we did on the dashboard on the main side. So you'll notice all of these tabs are the same ones that we saw in here. So you can just access them in different ways under the My Account menu, or when you click through, you'll be able to see the tabs here. There is a notifications tab as well. later on when we get email subscriptions, you can click onto different lists if you'd like, or event notifications. When you've already clicked onto an event, you can get a notification about if there's any changes or if there's any information you need to know for that. You'll see that all here. This is where you'd agree, this green slider button, to agree for emails or not. Again, you'll notice when I say no, I'm not going to be able to subscribe for anything. When I say yes, I'll see the change here, opted in for future email publications. Just gives us the ability to follow the anti-spam legislation, so we do need you to click through that. Most people who have already been members have implied consent, so you'll still be getting emails just in case you forget. But it's a great way to make sure everything's covered. All right, so let's move on to renewals now, and there's a couple ways to look at renewals. I'm just going to go back to my dashboard, which is the top left. The dashboard, as I said, has this renewal time button here. I can click renew today. It's a badge. It tells me that my membership will expire on the 31st of March. So I can click that renew today option. As I said, you also saw it in my membership area here. I can click renew now. Either one works the same way. I'll just do it through the dashboard just to show you. It's a little bit smaller link, so it's a good way to show it. When I click renew today, I'll be taken to my institutional renewal form, and the institutional renewal is the one that I was due for renewal on. So it takes me right to the one that I need to do, and I can fill in all my information. Just make sure it's all correct. Maybe my title has changed. I am now an adventurer. I can change that. I can also update my contact information. So I've got my business information. This is for my institutional membership. I've also got my residential one. If I wanted to add that in, I can do that. And then maybe my assistant information if I wanted to. I click the green button at the bottom here, next, and it takes me on to, oh, I need to just add a phone number. Just give me a second here. All right, what else was I missing? That's just the phone number. So there we go. I'll click next. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And then I can update my institutional information if I needed to. I need to add my hours and visitor information if I don't have it yet. Then I can click disclaimers. I do need to accept the code of conduct. It just gives you basically information about what can be posted and who can access the portal. So I've read it. I click yes. I click next. Oh, and I forgot to do this, of course. So our institutional memberships are based on a select your annual operating budget. So I'll select mine here. If you're an individual member or really any other member category outside of institutional, you won't see this option. It'll automatically have your total calculated. Click next, wait for it to go through. I can enter a donation if I'd like to. I've also got this little agree to receive email communications. It's the other way, same thing as that toggle switch we showed under account. I'm just going to skip this for now, but please feel free to donate. Then you'll notice I've got an invoice here, so I can see how much I have to pay. I can see how much I have paid, so obviously I still have a balance here. And it puts in my organization address here and the contact name, date of issue in the top right. Now I have two options. I can pay by credit card, paying online, or I can pay by check. Either one, I can choose that right here. So let's just say I'm paying by check. You will get this invoice emailed to you with instructions on how to pay it. If I'm paying by credit card, it'll take me through to a payment window. I'll pick credit card just to show you what it looks like, although I'm not going to go through with the payment right now. So this will take me, of course, to the billing information. I just add in my information. It will have already populated this billing address area. This just, if I need to change anything, I can go ahead and I can do that. I can confirm payment. Of course, I'm not entering in my cardholder information right now, just for the purposes of this test. So I'll press cancel. That'll take me back, and I can go back through. And I'll just go back just so that I have it ready to go for the next test. Bear with me for a second. But if you need to change anything, you can do the same thing. You can go back to here, and then I'll just click my dashboard. So you'll notice I didn't renew. This badge still shows up here. If you did renew, this badge would go away. It only shows up about 30 days before your renewal is due, or a couple months, up to a couple months after if you haven't renewed by that time. All right, so I'm going to go on to a couple different features now that we've finished the renewals. I don't see any questions, but again, feel free to add questions if you are on our profile. You can do that. If you are on Facebook, if you're watching live, you can add a comment through there and I'll be able to see it. I don't have any comments there yet, just checked. All right, so a couple other features that we have are mainly accessible through the top menu. So first of all, I'd like to take to the video library. Since we're on a webinar right now, all of our video library functions in here are basically recorded webinars. So they're sorted by date. You can see these ones are the ones that were released in 2018. If I go back to 2017, you'll notice we have all of our webinars all the way up to number 8. So we did 8 in 2017. If I click through to this, you're going to see the recorded webinar. Wait for it to load. The recorded webinar right here, as well as some information about the webinar and some information about BCMA webinars itself. So you can just click that. It's a YouTube video. You're going to see, I'm just going to mute this for now. You're going to see the webinar just like any other YouTube video. I can go through and I can see what the webinar was. You can see we were learning the Google Translate app at that point. So they're great resources to go back through and check those. I can see them full screen or not, whatever I choose to do. Down here at the bottom, I can see some other ones that are related to it. So maybe I want to watch our museum coach. These are a couple of videos that we made back in 2014 with the help of the Department of Canadian Heritage, some funding through them. So I could watch that as well, same sort of thing. A bunch of different tags at the bottom that you can also look through if you want to see something there. So yeah, that's our video library. Most of our webinars will be added within a day or two after the webinar, so if you missed it, you can go through and get them there. These videos are all accessible for free to all of our BCMA members. So basically anybody that has a portal account can access any past webinar. So feel free to explore that through the video library function. Now, videos or webinars are one of our main events. So we do have an events tab right here. I could click that and go to event calendar. I'm going to do it just another way really quick here. As I mentioned, you can get to our next event here on the main dashboard by clicking the big colorful button, or I can see view all of our upcoming events here. I'm just going to click view all for now, just so I can show you all of them. We have 4 listed right now. We have our webinar tomorrow, March 7th, which is about the community gaming grants. This doesn't need any sort of registration. You just click this button and you'll get the link. But we also have our next 2 webinars, whose tickets are up, and our regional workshop in Quesnel, which is happening in April. We do have another regional workshop in Abbotsford this month. We just haven't put the tickets up on here because they were available before the portal launched. So just in case you're interested in doing the MOU in Action webinar, this one right here, I'm just going to click it and show you what it looks like. Basically, you get the information about the webinar here. We also have a sponsor, NetX, which is a digital asset management company out of Portland. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring our webinar in March. And you'll be able to read a little bit about them there, get their contact information as well. You'll notice the date up here in the top left, as well as the venue. This is an online one, so you're not going to see any venue details. I can click register now, and I can choose however many tickets I want. Like I said, each member gets up to 2 tickets for their membership, so feel free to select that. I'm going to select 1, get my regular fee, which for members is $0. If you're not a member and you go through this process, that'll automatically be $10. So make sure if you are a member and you see 10, just log into your account first. Then I continue to step 2. And this will be where I can assign the ticket. So I want to make sure that this goes to Indiana Jones. So I'm going to click that. Or this is my ticket is the other option. If I'm the person buying it, I would take my ticket. So let's say you're purchasing it for somebody else in your organization, you can put that in there. They do need to have a portal account to see that. I'll just click my ticket for now. I've assigned it. I'm going to save that. And then I can continue on to the payment area, get a receipt. Actually, since I didn't pay anything, this receipt's just confirmation. If I was needing to pay for something, I would have a payment area similar to what we saw for the renewals. So there's one of my events. The other way, like I said, I can go through my event calendar, and I can see this as an actual calendar too. So you can see the two options. I can also see my event registrations. So you can see that I have signed up for the webinar number 11, the date and when I registered. I can modify this if I wanted to. I could remove it. I could transfer it to somebody else, select options, all those sorts of things, add another ticket. Bunch of different ways to do this. So that's basically events. Like I said, under the events tab, or your current one will be on your main dashboard. Now, as I mentioned, this directories reminder that you see on your badge here, this directories reminder is, there's another one there, is for a feature we're testing out, which is the directory. Now we have two directories up and running right now. These are currently only available on the portal, but depending on how they get used, we may put them up on our website. That's sort of the eventual goal. This will be replacing a previous member list function that was a little bit inefficient on our website. So this is hopefully the new way that we'll do that. So if I click through into these directories, you'll notice that there are basically these pictureless images right here. These are because these people have not yet put on their logo. So when you put on your logo on your account, you'd see one there. Now I do know, let me see if this works. I just changed the function here, so I'm going to see if this does anything. So yeah, Two Rivers Gallery, for example, they've uploaded their logo. They're going to see it right here on the directory page. Now the directory for these ones gives you a little bit of information about their hours, a little bit of information about their admission prices, their logo, as I said, their website, and their contact email. That's what they've chosen to show. So Two Rivers Gallery is a great example of an organization, a membership that has already gone through and updated their profile information. So this is what you'll see if you wanted to look for example, Two Rivers, or maybe an organization in Kelowna. You can see all of that sort of stuff through the directory. Excuse me. Now this directory will be increasingly populated. Like I said, we're still brand new into this portal, so a lot of people haven't signed on yet. But this information will get populated and will go live sometime in the future. Now, if I wanted to go to the service providers one, this, you'll notice there's no members found in this area right now. And that's because this is the affiliate information, affiliate membership information directory. So anybody that provides a service to the BC museums, whether they're a contractor, a consultant, a company that provides something, they can have their information listed here, but they need to opt in. And this is important because we do have affiliate members who don't provide services, so we just wanted to give them the choice. To do that, I can go to my account, and I can go to my directory listing. You'll see here's my picture because I'm an affiliate affiliate person. So I can edit my directory listing, and I can appear in the member portal. And I just turn these two on. We don't have a public one yet, but when we do, or if we do launch public, you can see that there. Now I can also see what I want to have available. So maybe I don't want my job title available. I can uncheck this box here, click it back on, or maybe I don't want my location available or my phone number. I can choose some of these things to be available. Maybe I don't want my, or maybe I do, want my description provided, because that would be important for me to tell people what I do. I can click those two on, and then I can click update. All right, it should update there. Let's see, sometimes it takes a little bit to update, so I don't know if I'm going to appear yet or not. Oh yes, I do, perfect. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes or so to update, so have a little patience if it doesn't come up right away. So again, similar to that directory for the BC Museums and Galleries, I now show up as working in Hollywood, agent to the stars, or whatever I put in. This is the description of my services, my contact information. All that sort of information can be now found in the directory. So those are sort of some of the extra features that are still on there. Now, this member directory is still in progress, so we are testing it with a bunch of members. We welcome your feedback on it. If it's something you find useful or something you don't find useful, please let us know. And we'll sort of work towards getting some version of this, whether it's this directory or a different one, going live sometime in the next month or two, just as a member service. Now, we do have more features coming soon. You'll notice I have this button here for Workspaces. I don't think anybody logged in right now will have that. But if you do, you can go in here and you can see your workspace. This is for committee members or if you're a part of our mentorship group. And we're going to add more of these as we go along. We've just put 1 or 2 up right now. But basically, this workspace is an area where I can go in and I can see maybe a recorded webinar. So if I was a non-member, I could see a recorded webinar. There's also some discussion forum capabilities, all these sorts of things. They will be available under Workspaces, so they'll be coming soon as well. I can choose to bookmark or remove a bookmark from there as well. So that's the BCMA member portal. And it's a lot of things to take in all at once. And like I said, we are going to be continuously updating and adding things and making things work even better for you. So please feel free to give us your feedback on this. If you do have any questions right now, feel free to write your questions into the Q&A window. I'll give everybody about 5 minutes. I know there's not a huge amount of people on, but feel free to write your questions if you do have any, and I'd be glad to answer them. You can also send me an email. I'm at members@museumsassn.bc.ca. As I said, we'd love to have your feedback on this. We want to make sure that it's working properly for you and make sure that it is doing the job you want it to do. Feel free to let us know if you have any new features you want to see or some change as well. We should be able to look into that for you and hopefully come up with something that works perfectly for everybody. If there is anybody watching us on Facebook, feel free to write in the comments. I am keeping my eye on those. I haven't seen any yet, but feel free to do that. All right, I'm not seeing any comments so far, but I'm going to give you an extra minute or so just in case. Thank you very much for joining us today. Glad to see some interest in this portal. We have been getting some feedback already, so it's great that people are sending us their thoughts or any questions that they may have. And if you do know somebody else from your organization who wants to go through this quick tour, we'll be doing the same thing Wednesday next week and Thursday the week after. All right, so I don't see any questions from anybody at the moment. So I think I'm going to close down this meeting, and I will say thank you very much one more time, and we'll see you again on a future BCMA webinar. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good day.